Now, schools have been closed for more than a month due to the COVID-19 lockdown. As a result, the classroom has moved online. An estimated 70% of pupils worldwide are taking part in some sort of online education. But cybersecurity experts are warning of more system challenges and vulnerabilities. Just how dangerous is this? Well, Paul Williams is from cybersecurity company Fortinet, and he joins us from Cape Town. Hello to you, Paul. Good to speak to you. Just why is this so dangerous?
Thanks, Gareth, for the call today. So I think it's quite dangerous, or I suppose the question, not dangerous, but obviously we have to just adhere to some things, is that because 70% of all students worldwide these days are actually now studying from home and they're all online, obviously accessing the internet. We're starting to see things like obviously increase in cyberbullying, where young children are obviously being accessed from most of social media platforms. That's one thing. Another one is people obviously doing what we call phishing. This is an interesting one because people will try and monitor the learning and the online gamers, email, social media, and other accesses, and try and use this information against the user that's obviously trying to access the internet. And then over and above that, it's we're trying to educate young learners these days about these types of attacks that are happening. And we're also seeing a lot of attacks happening, hacking, especially on the school children's laptops, iPads, and the digital devices they're using. That's an interesting one because when we're seeing this type of attack happening, is the hackers trying to hack the user at home and also trying to hack the home network as well. So that's an interesting one because now everyone's using the same family network. And with the parents and the kids sharing the same network at home, guess what? The hackers have an open opportunity now to actually get inside that network and try and use that against the user.
I can imagine some parents, Paul, forgive me, I can imagine some parents are going to ask the question, surely this is the problem of the schooling networks IT experts. Many of these schools these days are using apps of their own to communicate with their students and their teachers. Is it a security risk from the school side, or is it a security risk from your home internet?
No, it's a security risk from the internet. So I think that with everyone connecting to the internet, we've got to look at obviously securing the devices connecting to the internet. So the first part you've got to look at is actually securing the digital device the kids are using. So for example, Fortinet has a Forti client, which you put onto the endpoint device, and we monitor all the traffic transiting across this device, and we look for things like social media activity, people trying to hack into those devices, and other things as well. The second component we've got to look at is the school network that's actually giving access to the kids' network. Typically, they're using things like Google or Microsoft type applications, and we've got to ensure that these applications and these school networks these days, which are providing the online learning services, are also secured as well. And third but not least is the cloud services that's being provided as well to all the school students, including the high school students, university students, and people accessing the internet, because, again, these cloud services have to be secured as well. So that's typically what Fortinet brings to the party. It brings all three elements of cybersecurity to the network.
Paul, just before I say goodbye to you, just help me understand, for someone who isn't particularly technologically advanced, like perhaps I'm a parent, I've just had to get my child onto online schooling. What kind of signs am I looking for? We're not talking about cyberbullying, talk to your child about that, but what kind of risk can a parent see on a child's phone or laptop? What are we looking for?
Typically looking for a lot of activity from a certain website. Maybe look at the caching inside the person's laptop or phone. You can also look at the history of their phones as well, and obviously then see what the type of the hacks happening as well. So if you look at the type of history on the browser, looking at the activity of the phone's running very hot, maybe there's a lot of battery activity. All those signs actually show parents that there's obviously a lot of activity. Another one is just looking at your data. How much data is the kid using, right? If he's not doing online gaming or she's not doing online gaming, what other data are they obviously using?
All right, Paul, I appreciate your time and expertise this afternoon. Paul Williams is from cybersecurity company Fortinet, joining us here on eNCA. Keep an eye on your online schooling with your children. It might not be as safe as you perhaps assumed.